Hey guys, how's it going? This is my new Let's Play for Robopon 2. A lot of nostalgia for me. I really love this game. Played it as a kid. It's kind of a mix between Final Fantasy and Pokemon. Collecting from Pokemon and Final Fantasy from the team battling. It's a really fun game, so I'm glad I'm going to be able to share it with you guys. I was going to do a formal video, but then I never ended up doing that because it just didn't really work out, and I didn't think it was going to be entertaining, so I decided to do this instead. So I'm glad to be able to show you with you guys, and we'll just start a new game. Yeah, we'll watch the opening. I'm going to let all you see the actual cutscenes here. Basically, this is recounting from the first game. Basically, at the end of the first game, you basically kick Dr. Zero's ass, big time, and he basically threatens to blow up his whole castle to kill you inside so that you can't become the Legend 1, which is basically the best person in the fucking world. So Bisco basically comes, he starts out as your arch rival, but I mean, he ends up kind of becoming your friend, quote unquote. And then, you know, Zero just decides to kill himself. Then you get all the congratulations on how you did. Everyone's like, wow, you were a great guy. But, coincidence, there's a whole new tournament, and it's even bigger. So that's where you're going. I don't know why you're taken by the guards, but either way. And don't even ask me about that ship. Oh yeah, I'll become the champion. These are the prince and princess. Left is Bisco, your grandpa. Dr. Disc was in the first game. He actually is one of the legends that you have to beat, and he basically locks himself in a tower so that you can't get to him, and you have to blow up the bottom of the tower just to get in. And that's Lisa, your on-again, off-again girlfriend from the first one, who you basically barely see in this whole game. She's literally here for basically no time at all. And this is bullshit about, you know, follow your dreams, you can do it, blah blah blah. Yep, and then they're just talking about how I kicked everyone's ass here. Bisco's just gonna get some revenge. And now we're on our boat. Of course, this game was made by Atlas. Great company, great company. I don't know what they're up to these days. After we defeated his ass. So we boarded that ship. It says the best compete, but I mean, there's some pretty shitty Pokemon, yeah, there you go. Hard not to say it. Anyways, there's some pretty shitty Robopon at the first, which just begs the question, why would the first part of the tournament have that many shitty Robopon if this was better than the old tournament? But then again, I mean, it's a fucking collecting game, so I'm not gonna really delve into the story as much. Oh, so just as you're reading here, you, the dumbass, forgot your Robopon. Coincidence, am I right? And just coincidence, there's a storm, which makes us not be able to go back and get them. Uh-oh. And our ship blows up. And this is back just to where we're talking to Dr. Zero. He's just saying he's going to kill himself again, he's going to take you down. Here's where at the beginning of the story, the second one actually kind of takes off. Basically, what happens is there's a lot of time travel in this game, and what his brother does is goes back in time to save Zero so that they can basically take over the world eventually. And so basically, instead of Zero killing himself, he now is alive with his brother. So the reason Zero is so weak at this point is because in the first game he basically links his life force to his Robopon, so when he loses he basically almost dies. And then you get found by a dog. I pretty much know where everything is, so this is not going to be too long of a playthrough. I mean, it's a little bit of a long game, and I'm going to have to do some grinding, obviously, which is sometimes annoying, but it's not too bad with this game. So, you might look familiar. That's Zeke. And I don't know why he doesn't kill you right now. I can't say, but he definitely regrets that later. What is my name? I don't know if I can fit pirate. Nope. Pirate is. I'm pretty sure in the middle is how you get Gigapon. Basically, there's a Robopon you get at the first, but dependent on your birthday, you can either get Train, which is a train, and eventually turns into like a magnetic train. It's pretty fucking cool. But you can also get Gigapon, which turns into Soul, which is pretty cool. And you can get what is her name? Ping, I believe. And she turns into I don't know the name of her final one, but basically she's a really good caster. And then there's this other bitch called Crystal, which she enhances twice, and she becomes really good at the end, but I still don't like her as much as the other two, because Train's really useful up until the end. This basically is the Orphanage. I know where a couple of these things are. Basically, the memories will increase a stat permanently, so there's basically a max skill cap for all of the Robopon, and no matter how much they level up, they can only hit those max stats that are assigned. However, after they get past the level where all their stats are maxed, they can always increase their health still. I didn't mean to talk to him. And there's a weapon in here. This kid just tells you about the battery in the cave. So basically, you don't collect, you spark batteries, and you create Robopon. Hell yeah, I'm old enough. So basically, he just tells you, oh yeah, you're probably old enough to go in that creepy cave behind our orphanage. Okay, so that's where you get another weapon. So basically off the start you get a weapon for the movement type and the arm type, and basically the third type is a boot, so he doesn't need a weapon. Boot basically means that they can't equip weapons, and they get their software by level, where other ones will be able to equip software and stuff like that. Now there is one in here. This gives you a third one, which helps you get the other two. But I'm not gonna pick it up because it's just gonna not give me. Actually, I don't really want Sun Zero because he's good, very good up until about late game, and then because he has no enhancements, he just falls off really badly. Now, I'm gonna try and make a cursor. But if I get the wrong one, because it's been a while since I've played, if I get the wrong one, I can always get the other one later, because the thing with Cursor and the movement type, they're both in the game as fossilized, whereas Sun Zero isn't. But I don't really want Sun Zero in the first place, so... And then you go in here, and you get Hoffman's, he basically gives you the, I think that's you spark batteries. So you can go in here and then it'll let you spark now. I'm trying to remember Which one is which? What I'm gonna do is just save just in case. Yeah, that's not the one I want at all. Let me just restart the game here. Okay, well, we're back, and we're gonna make sure not to do moon and sun again, because I do not want the move type. Let's go get that other battery. The other battery's just in a dog's mouth. If you actually talk to her, she says, I wish you'd pick up something useful when, you know, that battery is so rare that you cannot get another one in the whole game. So I'd say that's pretty useful. Let's try this again. I'm trying to remember which one's which. So I believe moon you always get. I think it's ion and sun. Yep. There we go. I wanted a cursor because he's really strong. He's slow, but he's really, really strong. Didn't mean to go there. So he's a boot type, so he can't equip software, but it's alright, I'll be able to sell the software. Let's change his color a bit here. I like him like a blue. Actually, he looks pretty good right there. Yeah, let's keep him there. Okay, well, we got our first Robopon. Let's go ahead and fight this bitch. If I can, I'll try to keep videos to specific areas. But it might be hard because some of the areas are very big compared to others. And some of them, if you know where everything is a lot easier as well. But I'll try as best as I can to separate it between sections. Basically just have to beat these two guards and we'll be good to go. Kinship is actually pretty cool. When I first played this game, I really wanted Kinship, but then by the time you can get him, you don't want him, basically. X-Bot is really strong though. And his final form looks fucking awesome. Oh yeah. And he gets an ability at level 2. His crash is pretty good. Basically it's attacks and that has a chance of basically giving them a... I can't remember specifically what it's called, but it basically just downs their system and makes them miss a turn. Now, I could use the attack memory, but, well, actually I should. But, nah, I'd rather have the money. They aren't that useful. They put it up a little bit, but in the long run, I don't really find myself needing it. So there's a couple people you have to fight in town first, because you got to basically talk to a couple people and pass the time to make an event trigger. So we'll fight her first. Viper has some pretty cool enhancements too. He turns into a giant snake for his last one. I'm hoping the controller won't be too loud in the background, but we'll have to see afterwards. Yeah, he's not too hard. It doesn't really get hard until later, and if you grind, the more you grind, basically, the easier it's going to be, just like any other RPG ever. Yeah, so we got a normal. I usually don't bother with getting the early Robopon just because they're so trash. But trying to think any I actually want. I don't think so. We'll get our other starter and then we'll go from there. Usually I don't get any other ones though because I kind of know what I want. Once you get to Marvel Labs, there's a couple that you get. There's Negapon you can get with a code at the back of Marvel Lab, which is basically almost at the end of the game. And I want Platinum. And then I'll probably drop my starter near the end, and I'll be able to pick up the movement type from cross. I don't think there's a parts dealer here. Yeah, so this goes here, and he thinks it's pretty fucking funny. You forgot your Robopon. You go behind here, I believe there's a... Yep. I can't use it, but it's nice to have. And then basically, just gotta go in here. Basically, he's super worried because I think the fortune teller told him shit was gonna go down, and so now he's not enjoying anything. This is the fortune teller. Basically says a bunch of shit. And she basically says some general stuff. Ooh, actually we got Christy, okay. I usually don't go with Christy, but you know what? I think I'll go with it this time. Just, well, for one, not having to restart. And two, I don't usually use her, so it'll be interesting. This is the first, that's basically going to be the Legend 7, I believe. And he's the first one you have to actually beat. They have control of this pyramid that basically lets them go around in tornadoes. It's pretty neato. But they're kind of assholes, so they basically fuck up the city. So yeah, nice guys, really nice guys. Well, I must take a look at Christy. As you can see, the music's changed to Christy's first one looks really ugly. Like really ugly. Her second one's nicer, and her third one is the nicest out of all of them. But her first one I'm not a huge fan of, but I'm just gonna make her like purple, just cause I'm gonna have to get her. Is she boot type? Oh yeah, she is. All right, so I don't have to worry about adding anything to her. And there's a stun gun and a hyper in here. I'm not gonna make any new Robopon yet though. We can actually go over to downtown Delica. There's a couple of fights in here, so we might as well. I was actually thinking at one point to do some sort of a Nuzlocke thing with this, but then I remembered that basically near the Legend 6, where there's it's basically he's owner of a circus. He has, in the past and the future, he has this guy who can cast Scrap, which has like a 20% chance to instantly scrap something. So something like a Nuzlocke would be really bullshit, because I can't get another starter, and if he gets scrapped by that chance, then I'd just be super pissed. And I would basically have to either restart or just really get railed on for the rest of the game. I think Christy does get skills pretty fast though. She's not strong at all though. Biggie's okay right at the start of the game, and he has one enhancement which makes him alright, but it's just not worth it to pick him up unless you're trying to complete the whole data. I don't know what they call it in this. Biggie's pretty cool though. He's a little superhero. Titans are pretty strong too. They don't enhance though, which is well, it's mainly why they're using it at first, because they're really strong off the bat, but they don't enhance and they don't scale very well at all. Oh nice, she starts out with Stone, that's good. Stone basically hits everyone on their team for a little bit of damage, unless they dodge it or they aren't affected by magical. There's a couple of guys who aren't affected by magical abilities. Well, not magical, software abilities, but you know what I mean. Now, Hexbot and Chrissy don't really enhance to like past level 20, which will take us a while. So let's just head back to let's check out Hoffman Tower real quick. Basically, Hoffman Tower stores all your other Robopon. The more you store, the higher it gets, and the top floor has I can't remember what the top floor is, but there's a couple floors with battlers on it, and there's a floor where you can name your Robopon. There's a floor where you can buy batteries, sell batteries. There's a bunch of shit. But you have to basically put in more and more. It doesn't matter what they are. You can literally make the worst Robopon over and over and over again and fill her up. But you have to have the batteries. And that's probably enough for this episode. We can actually play one of these. Oh, no, we can't. Those are just the guys who tell you how to play. I forgot. Well, that's enough for this episode. We got our first and second Robopon, and we'll be heading to fight Mask Man in the next episode. So stay tuned for that. See ya.